My name's Frank Zurich. I was bid farewell 2 years ago with a fancy looking piece of paper, a pocket full of useless information, and a lifetime full of debt from an institution that told me I was ready for the real world. Ready to be a journalist, they told me. Well, welcome to my life, or should I say a combination of my life, thoughts, beliefs. It's all the same. Anyways, you should know I'm a walking contradiction. Constantly questioning, constantly doing things that are wrong and right, constantly observing, constantly everything. It's nonstop madness up there, really. Well, unfortunately, another day begins. Same old shit. Trying to find a job, try to find God, try to find happy, try to find sad, try to find love. Just try to find a fucking reason or meaning to anything. Well, anything I already don't know the meaning and reason to. At least I think. And it seems as these days roll by, it just gets worse. Yeah, stop complaining, right? I know. But have you ever felt like nothing really makes sense, and once you think something makes sense, you just re examine it and it really doesn't? I mean, minor exceptions. Like doing this, putting on a fancy shirt and tie and combing my hair so I can present myself to some person with a fancy title that doesn't really care two shits about my journalistic point of view or what I'd like to write about or what I feel deeply about. He just wants to see my diploma and I can put my tie on right. And after that, it's straight to being a robot writing for a brainwashing, manipulative beast disguised as a people's media corporation that feeds on the minds of innocent people so loyal to their tellings. And I'm not criticizing anyone. I really do love people. But they see only what they want to see, and it's not their fault. They were tricked not to see, to not know what's really going on, to not know what really matters. But it must be hard to dictate what matters and what doesn't when your mind's preoccupied with the expectations of your parents and today's society, the latest trends, celebrity gossip, news that's completely irrelevant, and the rising price of oil and what we should do about it. As if we can do anything about it except stop consuming it, and who does that? Exactly. And like I said, don't get me wrong. I really do love everyone, even if they are ignorant. Chances are it's not their fault. And like I'm no better sitting here analyzing and telling you what I think instead of trying to make an actual change. Anyways, it's off to try and find a job. Another interview. I hate interviews. To me, interviews are like a formal blind date with a person you know really wants to know nothing about you at all. And every time I walk into that over air conditioned office with the $1,000 flat screen on the wall and their extravagantly framed and perfectly centered diplomas so everyone can think that they're smart, I get sick to my stomach and want to walk out, which is typically where the interview goes bad from the beginning. But I'll go in there and they'll ask me my goals and objectives as a writer, and well, I'll contemplate what to say for a minute, what they want to hear, and then I'll think about what I want to say, and my stubbornness will kick in, and I'll explain, well, I want to write about things that really matter, things that Americans should know, things that affect us every day that 80% of us are never made aware of. I'll explain I want to write to enlighten, to educate, to help people create, which, if you ask me, has got a beautiful ring to it. And usually I don't even get the, well, Mr. Zurich will call you if something opens up. I get the, well, 1 minute face to face after a 1 minute decision that usually goes something like this. Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Zurich, but you're just not what this company is looking for in a writer. And then I'll laugh on the inside knowing they're completely right and cry on the inside knowing I can't control my mind and suck it up. Not even enough to get a fucking normal job. Then I'll reassure myself that, well, I'm the sane one and they're all crazy, at least according to my definitions. So I suppose that these searches for a job that relate to the title given to me in my diploma, journalist or journalism major, what have you, are pointless. I think I'd find more meaning in being a janitor than I would in being what they consider to be a journalist. I guess I feel trapped. Trapped by the titles and rules of today's society. Trapped by my own thoughts. Kind of like a caged animal dying to take a bite out of life. And if I don't take that bite, I'm afraid I'm going to die like this. With my mind in shambles. Never knowing what really matters and what doesn't and what's relevant and what's irrelevant. But I realized I was set up for these problems in my head. Everyone is that looks beneath the surface, especially Americans. I'm still emerging from the cloud of lies I was covered in as a child, a teenager, and even a young adult too. Lies about society, lies about government, lies about life, lies about people, lies about history, even lies about where we stand as a human race today. And these lies never stop. They're on our TVs, in our newspapers and magazines, broadcasted through our radios, and so gracefully spoken out of our so-called leaders' mouths. So I suppose then it's really a search for truth. And once I find truth, I'll find everything and meaning to everything. But truth and meaning are merely words and not a state of mind. So I've come to realize most don't care about truth or meaning much. I mean, who cares about that when you've got the American dream to chase? A big house, a nice car, credit cards to every popular shopping outlet known to man. Oh yeah, and that ever-yearning desire to outdo your neighbor and not to come together like it should be. And of course there's no meaning to any of that. So I think maybe tomorrow I'll stop this complaining, or maybe I won't. Who knows? But I think I've realized I can't change the world. I can't change how people think. I can only try to affect people that listen to me, people that know me. But the thing is, I feel like I know everyone. I suppose that's why I wanted to be a writer and write this book in the first place. But as you can probably already tell, my writing will never be censored, just as these thoughts that plague my mind will probably never rest. So, as I sit here presenting you my thoughts through this pencil and paper, know that I'm dreading tomorrow. Everything all over again, and who knows what it'll be this time. People, jobs, and society like today, or maybe I'll be asphyxiated on consumerism, racism, hatred, ignorance, realizing that no one really cares about me or you, and we're treated as if our lives were as disposable as a paper towel. So you see, tomorrow will be no different than today for me. It's just chapter 2 of what I like to call my grind.